Hey everyone, Joey here, and today we're going to do probably my most exciting video, at least for me. We're going to go over my year in gaming. What games I played, we're going to rank them, so like a whole game of the year thing for retro, ROM hacks, not 2025 modern games, and then 2025 games as well. So we'll have 4 different categories, and then as a special, if we have time, I'm going to give you some recommendations for books that I have read this year. Now, if you're curious, my stats this year, 15 modern games beaten, that means 2025 games, 23 retro games beaten, 10 ROM hacks beaten, 4 not 2025 games that I have beaten, and 66 books read. I've told you guys a lot of times that I read more books than I play games, and that tells you a lot already. But those numbers, there's a lot of games over there that are like 40, 50 hours, and so we'll get into all of it. But today, we're going to have an Excel spreadsheet up, we're going to have me, we're going to talk about games, and that's all we're going to do. Hey, Editor Joey here. This is going to be a long video. I didn't realize it until I got halfway through recording it, but this is going to be a long video, so get ready. So let's start off with the not 2025 and not finished games. Now, you're going to see me looking over to the left here. That's where my laptop is, where I have everything on screen. So it gives me a good idea of what I want to see and what we're talking about. I had 4 games that I beat that were not in 2025. So there's Persona 5 Royal, which I played over like a span of years. I've beaten Persona 5. I just never finished Persona 5 Royal. Persona 4 Golden, which finally beaten. I started that when I went to Japan back in like 2021. I never actually finished it. I brought that save over to like 10 different devices. It's crazy. Ace Attorney Trilogy, Phoenix Wright. First time ever playing that this year. Loved it. So much fun. And then Alan Wake. First time ever playing Alan Wake as well. And I've never played the second one as of yet. So I'm going to rank these ones right now. I think Alan Wake is going to be last, and not because I don't like Alan Wake. I actually liked it quite a bit, but if you asked me right now what happened in Alan Wake, I would be blanking on anything that happened, and I played it this year. So it just didn't stick with me. I thought it was fun when I played it. I thought it was good when I played it, but nothing stuck with me, and it was enjoyable to play enough that I want to play the sequel, but it just didn't stick. So I'm going to throw in Alan Wake. We're just going to copy or cut, paste, throw it in right there into 4th place. Now, 3rd place, this is where things get tough. I like all 3 games of Persona 5, Persona 4, and Ace Attorney Trilogy. I think if I had to give it, you know what? I'm going to put Persona 4 Golden, I think, here in 3rd place. Not because I did not like Persona 4 Golden. I mean, it has probably one of my favorite soundtracks. One of my favorite sounds. It's so good. But it was, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. It had twists. It had good turns. It had everything. I like the characters, but I would rank Persona 5 Royal higher than it. So that's one thing. And then the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy really just kind of came out of nowhere. So I'm going to throw that as 2nd. If you have not played Ace Attorney, it is visual novel style games, kind of detective style. You are a lawyer and you're going through and doing cases, and you have to solve these cases. But it is mature. It is mature in a way you wouldn't expect. Like there's deaths and actual deaths, but they play it off in a good way. It is very well done. And I am currently in Apollo Justice. I'm in Dual Destiny, so I've gone further into the Ace Attorney life, and they're just fantastic games. So for me, number 2 is going to be Ace Attorney, and then Persona 5 Royal I think is number 1. Persona 5 Royal, if I had to pick a Persona game to recommend to anybody to start with, it would be Persona 5 Royal or Persona 5, but Royal is the choice now. You get so much game. Like you get, I put 22 hours here, but that's all I found on Steam. I played that through PS5. I transferred the PS5 save over to Game Pass, played it through Game Pass, and then I tried to Steam. There's probably like 90 hours there if I had to guess. That's what my Persona 5 was at. There's a lot of time there. And you're going through as a high school sort of group that goes into another world and things happen. And there's just like relationships. There's turn-based combat, which is some of the best turn-based combat that we have. And it's just so much fun. So for me, if I had to recommend somebody start with one Persona game, it's going to be Persona 5 Royal. Okay, and now let's go over to 2025 games that came out in 2025, but I haven't finished them yet. So I've played a number of hours in them, but I haven't finished them. So these are not beaten games. And there's a few here. There's Ball Pit, Absalom, Hades 2, Mega Bonk, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, and Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma. So, I mean, these rankings, I have not finished them yet. So these rankings don't mean that much here, but I'm just going to rank them really quickly into what I've been enjoying the most to what I haven't been enjoying the most. I'm going to throw in last place. I think Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. I don't think it's a bad game. It doesn't do anything for me. It hasn't really been hitting. Haven't been excited to play it. So I'm going to throw it in to last. And on the same front, that's going to be Mega Bonk as number 5. I really like Vampire Survivors. I really like those types of games. If you haven't played it, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor is a roguelike exploration game. It's the same as all the other roguelikes. And Mega Bonk is the same thing. It's Vampire Survivors, if you're familiar with that, but 3D. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't grab me. It feels very like Fortnite-y in a way that just doesn't hit with me. And so, yeah. Then I'm going to go into 4th here, and this might be, a lot of people are going to hate me with this. Hades 2, and I don't know what it is, but Hades 2 hasn't grabbed me. Hades 1 didn't grab me either, despite the fact that I absolutely love Greek mythology, and that should be like the number 1 hit for me. It doesn't hit. I don't know what it is. I can play it, like I have fun enjoying playing it, but maybe it's the challenging part to it. I don't know what it is, but they don't hit for me. So Hades 2, I think for me would be in 4th. And then I'm going to put up Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma, mostly because I haven't played enough of it. I played maybe 10 hours or so, if I had to guess. I'd have to look at my Steam and what I played. And there hasn't been a big enough hook. Like, it is very much a Harvest Moon / fantasy life / I don't know, relaxing, cozy type of game. And I like that. I love Stardew Valley. I love Harvest Moon. I love Fantasy Life. I love all of that. But it hasn't grabbed me. It hasn't really sunk its teeth into me at all. But it's enjoyable. There's a lot of things you can do in that game. It just hasn't grabbed me yet. Then I'm going to put in second. It's going to be Absalom. Absalom is a game that I just started playing about 2 weeks ago. I got very far in, at least far enough to know that I really like it. It is challenging, but not challenging in a way that you feel like it's against you. Like, it feels like you have to go and learn the game. You have to level up. You have to do these things. It is not challenging in a way where you're like, man, this game is just cheating. This is just, it's not that. So again, it is another kind of roguelike. Like, that's pretty much all that comes out nowadays, kind of. But it is kind of roguelike. You are going through different levels. You are leveling up your guys. You're going to die a lot and upgrade skills and then go back and be able to go past areas that you got stuck in. And it's got such a great art style. It's got good music. It's got great everything. I think the only negative I have for Absalom is there's no 120 FPS mode. So you're stuck to 60. And you kind of want to go higher than 60 for these games. And then that leads me with number 1 so far. And the only reason I don't have this on my beaten games for the list, despite the fact that I have like 10 characters unlocked, is because I don't know what the end is. I didn't know if I should throw this on beaten games or not. I don't know what counts as beaten for Ball Pit, but it is so much fun. Ball Pit would probably top one of my favorite games of this year. It is one of those games where you're just like, one more run, and you're just going through. And it is just Brick Breaker with roguelike elements. That's all it is. It's just Brick Breaker with roguelike elements. You are going through, you are throwing balls, you have lots of abilities, you have lots of things, get better characters with wacky different skills and all of that. And it is just so much fun. It is a game that I am thankful that Game Pass still exists, because I tried it on Game Pass and I was like, yes, I'm going to go buy this on Steam. That's kind of what I use Game Pass for. It's like demos, but Ball Pit for sure. Fantastic game. If anybody is on the fence about it, you should grab it. Okay, and now let's go over into my 2025 games. So these are games that came out in 2025, and I actually beat them. So there is a lot of games here. There's a lot of hours of games that I've played for 2025 releases. And I don't know where to start. I know what number 1 is. I already know what number 1 is. I don't know if I should throw it there now. We'll talk about it. You know what? We're going to do it. I'm going to throw it there now. It's going to be Clair Obscur Expedition 33. And we'll talk about it in a bit. But I'm going to throw it up as number 1 because I know it's number 1. I'm going to go backwards here. If I had to go last, okay, I didn't finish Pokemon ZA. I got far enough in Pokemon ZA, I'm going to consider that I beat it. It is last. Pokemon ZA is, I don't want to say awful, because I don't know if that explains it properly. It is a game that does not respect your time. In the first few hours, you're just running through a tutorial of stuck. You are stuck and you cannot do anything that the game does not want you to do. And so you're like, okay, is this game going to open up at all? And it's like 3 or 4 hours before it actually does. And then when it opens up, you're stuck in a city. That is the smallest city in the world. You don't get access to a lot of things. You're going through the game. It is not fun in any stretch of the imagination. You have so many things that you're doing in that game that are just not fun. A lot of the side quests were okay and they're all right, but the actual gameplay, the new gameplay and the new combat of ZA was fine, but none of it was fun. I didn't find myself enjoying any of my time. It just felt like I was checking off checkboxes the entire time. And the story is just, there's no story there. It is nothing. Like, it is whatever, a Pokemon game, sure. But like, it's not Pokemon in the way that I love Pokemon. When you play an older Pokemon game, it's like, okay, here's your Pokemon, here's your Pokedex, here's your Pokemon, go off into the world. And then that's it. In this game, like, you could beat you could beat the Game Boy games in the time that the tutorial exists for this game. And so yeah, Pokemon ZA is last. We won't talk too much about it. And now I got to see what's going to be second last. Actually, you know what? We're not going to do that. We're going to go all the way up to second because there is one game here that I need to throw into second, and we're going to talk about it in a bit, but it's Dispatch. Dispatch was fantastic. I know we're going back and forth here, but this is hard. It is hard to rank things without moving them again. So Dispatch, we'll talk about it when we get there. I think if I had to go with second last or 14th, it's going to be Inazuma 11 Victory Road. I just beat this game this week. This is soccer, but with RPG elements and anime and all of that made by Level 5. I've never played any Inazuma game before, so I don't know if this is contributing to it, but like Pokemon ZA, this has a longer tutorial where it was like 5-6 hours of not touching a soccer ball before the game is like, all right, you can play some soccer now. And then it kind of limits you. And it's like, well, you can't really play as much as you want. You could play like a little bit. And then it gradually opens up and opens up and opens up. The story mode soccer matches really limits you. Like, it does that thing where it's like, all right, now go and play for victory. Except this guy's just going to score because the story wants him to score. And so you can't combat that. And you're like confused. And I had so many different bugs where it was like, in order to pass this mission, in order to pass this battle, you have to score a goal. So I go and score a goal and the game's like, oh no, game over. You didn't complete the requirements. I'm like, it says score a goal and I scored a goal. And I had that happen many times. And then the last battle, the last mission, I had to redo 4 times because it would tell me to do something and I did it. And the game's like, nah, you didn't. And then it would crash. I'm like, okay, I have to redo this again. And so it was buggy. The voice acting was probably one of the worst voice acting I've ever heard in any video game. And I don't really pay attention to that stuff, but the dubbing is really bad. And so I didn't have a lot of fun with this. It was enjoyable in some parts, but for the most part, I was just frustrated with the game. It was just like, when is this going to get good? And it kind of never did. And I just played the story modes. I don't know if any of the other modes do well, but that's kind of where I was at. For the next game, I'm actually going to throw up Gears of War Reloaded. This could actually have been last. I did not have any fun with Gears of War Reloaded. I am not a Gears of War guy, so that tells you. The only time I play it is when a friend of mine is like, hey, let's go play Gears of War because a campaign game comes out or like a co-op game comes out, and we just sit there and we play a co-op game. And so that's usually when I play Gears of War. Gears of War Reloaded was like, they remastered or remade a game without changing anything. They put no work or no effort into it. And it felt like I was playing Gears of War back then, except it was a remaster or remake, and they did nothing to it to help you in 2025. The entire time we were playing this, we were just making fun of the game and just laughing at it. It was really bad graphics, really bad like gameplay, really bad everything. I just did not enjoy Gears of War. So it's going to be here in 13th. It probably could have been 15th. I don't know. I might move it around a little bit, but sure, we'll leave it as 13th for right now. I think if I'm looking over the list right now, I'm going to have to throw in Doom: The Dark Ages. I didn't enjoy Doom. I love Doom 1. I actually enjoyed Doom Eternal. But Doom: The Dark Ages just did not hit for me, and I don't know what it was. I I was going through the game, and there are some cool moments and all of that, but it felt like it didn't feel like the Doom remakes. It didn't feel like you had that same level of, I don't even know, like badassery. Is that the word for it? Like, yeah, there's some cool moments of it, but like, it just felt like a paint by numbers Doom without anything really exciting to it. And so I was just playing through it. I was enjoying it. Like there were some moments that are good and all of that, but like nothing stuck out. Nothing was like, man, that was awesome. Man, that was super cool. Man, like Doom 1 and Doom 2 had. It was none of that. It was just, it felt like Doom without the care put in, without the heart put in. That's kind of what I felt like when I played Doom: The Dark Ages this year. And so it's going to be down here at the bottom. And I think next up on this list is going to be Assassin's Creed Shadows. I enjoyed Assassin's Creed Shadows for a lot of it, but then it wastes your time with a lot of it. There were times where I get stuck in the story and it's like, you have to level up to get to the next point. And I'm like, man, I just want to finish the story. I'm here for the story. I don't care about these side quests. I don't care about going around and killing everybody. Like, I just want to do the story. I want to see what's going on here. That's how I play games. I like story. And so Assassin's Creed Shadow did that thing where it was like gatekeeping you on levels. And then near the end, it was just like, I'm not going to end this game. It's just like, okay, you think it's at the end? No, you have another 5 hours of doing nonsense before you get to the end, just because we need to pad this out a little more. And you're probably sitting there like, well, Joey, that's Assassin's Creed. Like, I've played Origins, I've played Odyssey, I've played Valhalla. Like, I know what I'm getting into here. And sure, but that still means it's a negative. It was really fun. I liked playing as, and I don't even remember the character names now. I liked playing as the samurai guy because he was just big, built like a tank, and he played differently. And then I liked playing as Naue. I think it was Naue. I liked playing as the girl who was just more like an assassin. And you got really cool things that you could do differently when you want to play with different play styles. That was awesome. But the story kind of went nowhere for me. The whole thing, the pacing was off. Like, it was fine. I didn't hate it, but like I didn't enjoy it as much as the other games either. What is 10th now? Looking at this, I think 10th is going to be Stellar Blade, and only because we are now in the top 10 and I'm looking at these lists of games, and no, you know what? It is not Stellar Blade. We're putting Stellar Blade back. 10th is Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles. Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced is one of my favorite games of all time. I love Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced. I think it's one of the best Game Boy Advance games. I think it's the best Final Fantasy Tactics game. I enjoy it. There is so much to that game. The music, the art style, the gameplay, all of it. It is all combined into one fantastic Game Boy Advance game. I have played little bits of Final Fantasy Tactics over the years, PlayStation 1 version, the PSP version, all of that, but I've never beaten it. Finally sat down with the remake, and I'm like, I'm going to beat this. I beat it. And I got left with feelings of, that's it. That's what people enjoyed. The story, sure, really cool story. All of that was pretty cool. But I had so much other problems with it. It just felt like when I compare it to Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced, that felt like a more complex game. It felt like I could play and make characters that had better abilities, better things. Like the knight in Final Fantasy Tactics, it's all rend abilities. And you're sitting there like, okay, I'm a knight, and all I have is rend abilities, and these are boring as hell. And then you jump into like Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, and you have all these characters that have really cool abilities for all of the different jobs. That's just one example. Another thing that I really hated was having to rotate the isometric view, or whatever it's called, of the field to be able to find your character and like point it to where you want. If there was a bridge or anything that you had to go under, I was angry. I was just like, I need to keep rotating. I need to push the tactical view. I need to see where my cursor's going. You don't have that problem on Game Boy Advance. It's just, you can see everywhere that you're trying to move to. And so there were little things like that over my time, I was like, I can see why people like this, but for me, it's going to be Final Fantasy Tactics Advance every single time. So yeah. Okay, and so I guess the next one is going to be Stellar Blade. And not for any reason that I did not like it. I think in the top 9 now, these are all games that I really liked. I liked Stellar Blade. It was actually really cool. It wasn't as hard as I expected it to be. It seemed like it was going to be a Dark Souls type of game. It wasn't that way at all. It had a cool story. It had really cool moments. It was surprisingly better than I expected a Stellar Blade game to be. I had zero, like, this is a game that I had on my wish list to pick up at some point, but it was never like, you know what, I really need to play Stellar Blade. Then I played it, and I was like, man, this is awesome. This is really cool. I don't usually like these types of games, Dark Souls games, all of that. And it wasn't like that. It was better than I expected. So for me, Stellar Blade is going to be ninth, but I think a lot of people should pick that up. It is more than what people thought of. It is not a Gooner game in that way. Despite people thinking that might be the case, it is not that. What is going to be eighth here? I think it's going to be 100 Line Defense Academy. So 100 Line Defense Academy is made by the Danganronpa creator, and Danganronpa is one of my favorite series of all time, so I have to play any games made by them. And 100 Line is ambitious. There is 50 different routes. It is visual novel style with some tactical SR or strategy RPG elements built in for some battles. And you're going through the different routes. There's only really 2 routes that are plot, actually have to do with the plot. The others are kind of different routes. There's like a killing game route. There's a comedy route. There's all these sorts of things. And if you like Danganronpa, if you like the mystery of it, this is that without the killing game aspect to it. And it's just same type of characters, same type of visual novel style, artwork, all of it. And so, yeah, I enjoyed a lot of it. It drags on quite a bit, as you would expect from a game that is this long, but it drags on quite a bit. And so I finished the first route, and then I am now in the middle of like halfway of the second route. I'm pretty close to finish. So that's why I'm throwing it on here. If you like Danganronpa, this is an easy recommendation for you. Okay, and I think next up here is going to be Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. This game is fun. It is super fun. It is, if you've played The Messenger, very similar to The Messenger. It is just side-scrolling ninja antics, just old school retro gaming. That is exactly how I can name it and picture it and play it. It is just so simple to play and understand, and the story is whatever. It's all right. The bosses are cool. The gameplays, the levels are pretty cool. I enjoyed my time with Ragebound quite a bit. I need to play Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I have not played it yet. They're very similar games, I think, from what I understand. But Ragebound, yes, it is short. It is fun. It is retro. It is everything. Grab it. Okay, if I look at 6th now, I think it's going to be Fantasy Life: The Girl Who Steals Time. I loved Fantasy Life on the 3DS. Fantasy Life on the new one is great as well. This is a game where it feels like a mobile game in a lot of ways, and I don't mean that negatively. I mean it in like, there are so many things that you get achievements or things for just by existing. You go out and you have different lives that you can do. You can be a woodworker. You could do mining. You could be a paladin. You could do all these sorts of things. And every single thing you do as that life just gets you closer to leveling up. It is one of those games where it hits that right, I don't know, what's the adrenaline note of, man, I want notifications to pop up when I'm doing things that are good. And so it just keeps doing that for you. The story is whatever, it's just it's a thing, but the gameplay, the different lives, the things that you can do, all of it is super fun. So if you like cozy games, Stardew Valley likes, if you like those types of games, just checklist type games, this is it. Fantasy Life is awesome. Okay, and now this is going to get difficult. We have 3 games left. We have Digimon, Trails in the Sky, and Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'm going to throw up Donkey Kong Bonanza. I know that's 3rd. I had a lot of fun with Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'm going to throw that as 3rd. 4th and 5th could go either way for me. I think I enjoyed Digimon more than Trails, but I'm going to throw Trails here now in 5th. I've tried Trails many times on PSP to get started. I even have the Steam version of Trails in the Sky. I was never able to get into it. When the remake dropped and it had all the quality of life features that I needed, I jumped right in. And I'm glad I did. It's a very fun game. It is very slice of life for pretty much the entire game up until the end. And it is weird to say this. I played 30 hours of it. The last hour of the game is what gets me to play the next game. I can't spoil it for you. I'm not going to spoil it for you. But it is basically everything that happens in that last hour that is like, okay, now I need to play the next game. The whole 29 hours up to that point, I was like waiting for things to happen. I'm like, okay, I'm having a good time-ish. things are happening, but nothing crazy. I'm like, what's going to go on? What's happening next? Then finally, in the last hour, something happens. You're like, okay, that's instantly going to turn off a lot of people, and I get that. But I didn't hate my time with it. I'm actually really looking forward to the next game to see where the story goes. So it is a tough one for me to recommend to others, but I enjoyed a lot of it. Trails in the Sky, really cool. Okay, top 4. Digimon, Time Stranger. Cyber Sleuth was awesome. Survive was awesome. I love Digimon. I've watched all the Digimons. I've watched the movies. I really like Digimon. This game is like, what if Pokemon was good? And I hate to do this because it is reductive to Digimon, not even Pokemon. This is what if the Pokemon developers cared? What if they put the effort in? Well, you get Digimon. That is what this game is. It is Pokemon if it was good. It was Pokemon if it had a story, if it had voice acting, if it had actual graphics, if it had actual like artwork and levels and areas and all of it. It is. I can't say as much good things as I can about Digimon. I can't stop saying it. It is a fantastic game. If you have the chance, if you like Digimon at all, you need to grab it. It is one of the best games of this year. It is 4th on my list for games this year. It is much better than Pokemon. I've played both of them. You can tell I really like Pokemon. For me to say Digimon is better, it's a lot. Time Stranger, awesome. It is turn-based battling. You capture all the Digimon. You play it. It is great. Okay, top 3. I'm leaving them in this order. We'll talk about them now. Donkey Kong Bonanza is very fun. It is Mario Odyssey with destructible environments. That is Donkey Kong Bonanza. I had a lot of fun with it. It was just, there's a lot of things that happen in that, like twists too near the end, that just get you, and they get you smiling. Throughout that entire game, you are basically smiling. You are having fun. It is one of those rare games like Nintendo makes that you play it, you're having fun the entire time. That's Donkey Kong Bonanza. I don't have much negatives to say about it at all. Like, it was probably the DLC sucks. That's really the negative that I can give you. But the rest, the actual base game, yeah, it should be on everybody's purchase. This is the only reason I do not fully regret buying a Switch 2. Otherwise, right now, I would be fully regretting a Switch 2. But it allowed me to play Bonanza. That is really the only reason that I have a Switch 2. And it was worth it for me. Bonanza, awesome. Number 2 is Dispatch. Dispatch came out of nowhere. I was interested in it when I saw it at, I think it was the Game Awards or wherever it was earlier the year. And I was like, yeah, that looks cool. There is actual actors in it. It's a superhero visual novel style in the Telltale style. That all is everything I want. And so when I got it and I played it and it lived up to the hype, yeah. Dispatch, everybody should play. It is amazing. I love Telltale games. I love most of them. Wolf Among Us, the Batman Telltale, Tales from the Borderlands, all these games. It is that same style, but they go more adult with it. And that really is necessary for this one. This would have failed, I think, if it was PG or if it was like meant for kids. The fact that it is adult style Telltale game is everything up my alley. And the voice acting is fantastic. The graphics and everything is fantastic. It runs on really anything. Dispatch, yeah, it should be on everybody's list. I'm going to need a drink for Expedition 33. We're not going to make this one long. I don't know what needs to be said about Expedition 33 that has not been said already by everybody in the world. This is going to top probably some of my favorite games of all time. Like, it is on that list and near the top of that list. Expedition 33 was a game that I killed in a weekend. Like, sat down, could not leave until I finished it because, and this was before guides were out. This was before everything. So like, you had to do it all yourself, not know what you were doing. And it doesn't really need that, but like, that's when I played it all. And so Expedition 33 is amazing story, amazing gameplay, amazing music. The music, I still, to this day, it has been months, I still listen to the soundtrack of Expedition 33, and I'm probably going to listen to it forever. It is a game that I don't know what faults it might have, but I can't find them. Probably one of the faults is the graphic settings and all of that. It is hard to run on lower end hardware, PC handhelds. And when you do run it there and you put everything to low, it looks pretty bad. That's it. That's all I can tell you. Everything else, you have to play this game at higher graphics. You have to see this game. You have to see the characters and all of that. It is. I don't know what to say about Expedition 33. It reminds me of why I do this. It reminds me of why I like games. When a game like this comes out that is just exceptional in every single way, it reminds you of why you play games and what you get out of them. And it just leaves you with like everything. The story, I could sit here for another hour talking about Expedition 33 and everything there is about it. I did a video on this game. I never do game review videos. I did one on this game because it deserved it. That is my level of love for Expedition 33. If there's one game out of this list that you want to buy this year, it's Expedition 33. You should grab it. Okay, let's do ROM hacks now. These are ROM hacks that I beat in 2025. Doesn't mean they necessarily came out in 2025. So there are a few here. Newer Super Mario Bros. DS, Super Mario Land X, Castlevania Aria of Sorrow Reprise, Pokemon Prism, Pokemon Fire Red, Rocket Edition, Super Mario Land Return to Dinosaur Land, Super Mario Mon, Pokemon Emerald Sea Glass, Pokemon Fool's Gold, and a Plumber for All Seasons. I'm going to tell you right now, Castlevania Aria of Sorrow Reprise is going to be last. This is a roguelike Castlevania. I don't really like Castlevania games. This was one of our ROM hacks of the month, so I played it. I beat it, but it wasn't fun for me. And in that same vein, I'm going to put Super Mario Land X right up above it. Oops. Super Mario Land X right up above it. This is Super Mario Land, but more levels. It wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. It was fun. If you like Super Mario Land, it is just more levels like that. But it wasn't crazy. It wasn't anything amazing. So right here at the end. And easy enough, I'm going to put newer Super Mario Bros. DS here as well. Now, Super Mario Bros. DS isn't my favorite Mario Brothers at all. This was fun. They did some things with the gameplay that made it really enjoyable. But I don't know. There was a lot of weird things that they do in this game where it locks you out of a level or locks you out of continuing until you figure out where and which level specifically goes to continue on. And it isn't obvious. I had to Google a lot of these things to see, like, I'm lost. Where do I go? It was all right. I don't know. I didn't love it. It was fine. It's right here at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to have to move things around here. I'm going to throw up Mario Mon up there because I know I really like Mario Mon. Plumber for All Seasons is going up there. Fire Red Rocket Edition is going up there. I think we're going to go Super Mario World Return to Dinosaur Land. It can get quite difficult in some places, but it's not a difficulty Super Mario World. It's not a Kaizo ROM hack in any way stretch. It is just Super Mario World, but more levels, and some of them are harder levels. So I'm throwing it at the end here. I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. So it's right here at the bottom. I think Pokemon Prism is same boat here at 6th. I had a love-hate relationship with Pokemon Prism. There is a lot of that game that is awesome, but then there's a lot of the game that does not signpost where to go next. And so you were left Googling or figuring out, what do you do after this gym? What do you do after this? What do you do after that? And so you're left going through a lot of that scenario that it just does not signpost everything. Otherwise, the gameplay is just Pokemon, and that's cool. That's fine. I only did the first 8 gym or whatever the first thing to beat it, and then I stopped. I didn't love it. It had a lot of issues, a lot of things, but it was still good. Okay, top 5 now, and I think these games are all fantastic. So let's go. 5th is going to be Fool's Gold. This is Pokemon Silver, Crystal, whatever, with the Pokemon having different types than what you're used to. So Cyndaquil is an ice type, for example. And I can't remember what the other ones were. But basically you have the same thing, but all the other, like every Pokemon has different types now. And they all look different too. It was just fun. It was fun being able to play a game that I love, like Silver or Crystal or whatever, but different now, without knowing what these Pokemon do. It was like playing Pokemon for the first time, once again. You don't know what these Pokemon do. You don't know what type they are. You don't know what moves they have. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. Pokemon Fool's Gold, that's what you should play. I think for me, Emerald Sea Glass is going to be up next. Emerald Sea Glass is Pokemon Emerald in Game Boy style, like Game Boy sprite style. There's more changes than that, but that's generally it. Everybody plays this for the art style, and it is really cool. It's an awesome art style. But Emerald isn't my favorite Pokemon game. And so while I was playing it, I was like, yeah, this is really cool. This is really fun. I'm enjoying it. But you know what? Emerald isn't my thing. So I appreciated the art style, appreciated a lot of it. And I'm excited to play Lazarus when it comes to retro achievements. But Pokemon Emerald Sea Glass was basically just art style for me. And it was great. But yeah, the other 3 games at the top are much better. And so yeah, I think they're actually going to be in order here. I'm just going to copy them over. This is my order. Pokemon Fire Red Rocket Edition is Pokemon Fire Red, but from the rocket perspective. So you play as a rocket grunt. The only way you get Pokemon is by stealing them from like children and old ladies and elderly and all of that. And you go through the story as the Team Rocket grunt, and you come across red, you come across blue, you come across everybody, and it is just fun. It is super fun to be like a what if type game of what if we played as the Team Rocket grunt? That is this game. And so if that gives you anything, if you ever wanted to play a ROM hack that is different, that isn't just, oh, this is Pokemon with more Pokemon. This is whatever. This is it. This is super fun. So play Team Rocket Edition or Fire Red Rocket Edition. It is super fun. A Plumber for All Seasons is Super Mario World ROM hack, or it is a Super Mario World ROM hack. There's 4 seasons, and it is just changing everything. They changed the art style. They changed the music. They made a lot of fun levels. It is probably the best Super Mario World ROM hack that I have ever played. And I recommend it to everybody. If you like Super Mario World, this is what you want to play. It's got everything. Like, they redid everything. The art style, the music, the levels. I can't say enough good things about A Plumber for All Seasons. It is really fun. We played it for ROM hack of the month earlier in the year, and I suggest it to everybody. And then we get to Super Mario Mon, and man, this is, it is Pokemon, but with Mario characters. I don't know what else I need to say for that. You have Big Yoshi, you have Yoshis, you have Bomb-Bombs, you have Piranha Plant, you have everything. And it goes further than that. The entire world is the Mushroom Kingdom, essentially. Like, you have pipes that lead you to different levels and worlds. You have all of it is done, like, this is Nintendo level style quality in like a ROM hack. That is how much fun this is. Like, I know that a lot of people are going to be like, oh, it's just Pokemon. It isn't. Like, if you go and look at it, it is not Pokemon. There is no Pokemon to be seen for any of this. It is just, it should be on number 1 list for everybody to play this year for ROM hack. It's Mario and Pokemon. Like, I don't know what else to say. It is, yeah, that just play it. It is so good. Okay, and so we get to retro games that I finished in 2025. And there's a bunch of them here that they don't even fit on the screen. We were missing one there. Okay. I played a lot of retro games this year. Pokemon Conquest, Black 2, Elite Beat Agents, Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, Metal Slug 7, Pokemon Blue, Gargoyle's Quest, Metroid Zero Mission, Adventure Island 2, Aliens in Paradise, Suikoden 2, Pokemon Red, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, The Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker, Ratchet and Clank, The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls, Pokemon Black, Suikoden, Legend of Zelda Minish Cap, Adventure Island, Super Princess Peach, Super Smash Brothers, Shenmue, and Final Fantasy VII. That is a lot of games. I already know what's last. Okay. Shenmue is among the worst video games I've ever played. How much time do I spend on Shenmue? This is a game that is like not a game. Like, I spent most of this game in a forklift, driving a forklift with boxes back and forth. Spent most of this game running around town. I spent most of this game wondering if something's going to happen while waiting for time to change so I can go and continue the story. Shenmue's awful. It was a game of the month, so I had to play it. I will never ever play Shenmue again. I will never play any other Shenmues again. One of the worst, if not the worst video game I have ever played in my life, Shenmue. Nobody should play this. So it's right at the bottom. Oh man, what is next here? Oh boy. Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. Yeah, Kirby and the Amazing Mirror was another game of the month. That's how it always gets me. Game of the month. It's what always gets me. Kirby and the Amazing Mirror is Kirby if it was Metroidvania. And so you have Metroidvanias, which I do not like, and a Kirby game. Kirby I like, but there was no fun here. None of this was fun. None of Kirby and the Amazing Mirror was fun. Not in the same way Shenmue wasn't fun. There was more fun parts to Kirby. But man, the signposting or the lack of signposting of what you're supposed to do in that game is just too much. And the fact that you have to keep going back and forth to different areas that you were already in to explore and go past, now that you have a new skill, I hate that. That's why I hate Metroidvanias. It's a waste of my time. Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, not a lot to say about this. I didn't enjoy it. So it's right at the bottom. Trying to look at this list. Okay, yeah, this is easy. It's going to anger a lot of people. Metroid Zero Mission. If we want to talk about games that I did not enjoy at all, Metroid games usually, but Metroid Zero Mission, zero enjoyment. I played a lot of this game, I don't remember when, months ago, and I got halfway through, and I stopped. When I kept trying to go back to it, I was like, why am I playing? Why do I want to do this? Then finally I sat down, and I'm like, you know what? I just need to finish this. I need to get this over with so I can clear it off. And so I beat it. And I'm like, at no point did I enjoy Metroid Zero Mission at all. The entire game, no enjoyment, not one part about it. So it probably could have been lower. But I know a lot of people like Metroid games. I'm not gonna say anything about that. If you like Metroid, sure, whatever. Zero Mission, not for me. The fact that you have to go through the entire map 10 different times to go back to specific areas because you got a new skill, you have to go through the entire map to get back there. And all of it is a waste of time. So it's right at the bottom. I don't know what goes next. Oh yeah, here we go. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. I'm angering everybody today. I didn't enjoy it. I really didn't. You couldn't walk 2 feet without an enemy attacking you, which sure, that's an RPG, but it was so annoying that like every time I'm just trying to walk through the level, enemy is attacking you. And the battles are so long that you're like, all right, are we done here yet? Like, is it enough? And then you go through the game, and the puzzles can be annoying in a lot of spaces. Like, it does the same thing like Metroidvanias do, where it's like, to finish this puzzle, you have to go all the way back to this other spot in the map, and then go all the way back. And you're like, man, and then the pacing is off. Like, it starts off really strong, and then you have like 4 or 5 hours in the beginning or in the middle where it's like nothing happens at all. Like, nothing's going on. And then it starts up again near the end, and then it does the thing where it just never ends. And you have the end boss, which is like the worst end boss I've ever fought in my life. And I didn't enjoy it. I really didn't. And I think this was the game of the month again. Keeps screwing me. But yeah, I didn't enjoy it. And I think for the next one, it is actually going to be, is it going to be Minish Cap? It might be Minish Cap. I didn't hate Minish. Okay, hold on. It's not Minish Cap. I think it's going to be, Ratchet and Clank. I didn't even see that. Ratchet and Clank for sure is down here. This didn't age well, in my opinion. I like Ratchet and Clank, the new series, as of PS4 and where they continued it. Those games are awesome. I've never played any of the older Ratchet and Clank, so I started off with the first one. And it's just not, it wasn't fun. It was too much. It was longer than I wanted it to be. The gameplay wasn't as fun as I wanted it to be. The entire game, yeah, I just didn't enjoy Ratchet and Clank. Like, it was all right for a lot of it. And I can see why people like it, but for me, it just didn't do anything. This entire list is going to anger people. Pokemon Black, and hold on, no, we're not just Pokemon Black and Black 2. I'm one of those people that don't like Black and Black 2, or White and White 2. It doesn't matter. I don't like that series. I don't like those games. They weren't fun at all for me. I do not enjoy Black or Black 2 at all. The entire time I'm playing it, I'm like, I am not enjoying my time. And I think a lot of people enjoy those games for the battling and like all of that fun stuff, but that's not what I'm here for Pokemon with. I want to capture Pokemon. I want to explore. I want all of that. And I didn't feel like I got that out of Black or Black 2. Like, none of it was like, oh man, this is cool. It wasn't like that. So for me, they aren't my favorite Pokemon games. They're one of the lowest for me on my list. A lot of people like the story. It doesn't do anything for Pokemon. Doesn't have story for me. Like, it doesn't exist except for like, I don't know, maybe Pokemon, maybe the Game Boy games have a bit of story, but these did nothing for me. These were games that I sped run through just so I could finish them, get them off my list because I wasn't enjoying them. So Pokemon Black and Black 2. I promise we're going to get to the games that I enjoyed pretty soon. We're going to get there. I think here is, yeah, probably Wind Waker. Now, I have to preface this. I played the GameCube version of Wind Waker here for retro achievements. The GameCube version wants to waste your time. It wants to. And there's big differences between the GameCube version and the Wii U version. Like the number of maps you have to find near the end and the number of things you have to do and all of that, it like extends your gameplay out by doing nonsense. So you have to do all this nonsense that the Wii U version just simplified and made it easier for you to get to the end of the game. I don't like Wind Waker. I think the art style is cool. I don't like the surfing. I don't like the sea at all. 7 out of 10, too much water. Yeah. It was not my favorite Zelda game. I don't know how else to put it. Not my favorite Zelda game. Didn't enjoy it. All of that. So Wind Waker here at the end. I think a lot of people love it because of the art style and things like that. But playing it, nah, not for me. I think next is every Zelda fan's gonna hate me here. Minish Cap. I remember enjoying this a lot more as a kid than I did playing it recently. I am not the biggest fan of 2D Zeldas or like handheld Zeldas. Ocarina of Time, my favorite Zelda game of all time. Breath of the Wild, love it. Tears of the Kingdom, Majora's Mask, I've actually never finished, so I need to finish that. But these are games that these are my style of Zelda. The 2D ones, I don't know what it is about them. I can't get into them. I cannot get invested. I've played all of them, Link's Awakening. I've played Minish Cap. I played all of them, and they don't move the needle. And Minish Cap was like that. I don't know what it is about them. I don't know how to make them better for me to like them, but it wasn't as enjoyable as I thought it would be. Okay, and I think we're getting to games that I enjoyed now. I enjoyed all of these games. So let's go. I'm going to go Super Princess Peach here on 14th. This was a game of the month. I've never played Super Princess Peach. I thought it would have been like a kid's game, and it kind of is. It's like a Peach going through levels like Mario style, but it was fun. It was enjoyable. I didn't expect that. Super Princess Peach is super fun, and you get to use the dual screen for things. You use the stylus to do things with it. It is a game that uses the dual screen. So if you want to play something on the Thor, I played this on the Portal. If you want to play something on the Thor, Super Princess Peach, very fun. Not that long, 9 hours. It's better than you would expect. Put it that way. It was more than I expected. I think Adventure Island 2 is going to go here. Adventure Island 1 for the Game Boy is one of my favorite games. I love Adventure Island 1. Adventure Island 2, more of the same in some ways, but some and not. It felt like they tried to make Adventure Island again, but they missed some of the heart in it. So Adventure Island 2, still fun. It is very short, beat it in an hour, but it is, it wasn't anything crazy. It was fine. I liked it. And so after that, there is a game called The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls, which I don't know if a lot of people are aware of this game. From my understanding, this is the prequel to Zelda. And it really kind of feels that way. It is very old school style Game Boy game. And I don't know how to explain it without spoilers, but it is an old school style retro game. It isn't long. It's 3 hours. You can get through it very quickly. I would use a guide because there are some parts where it's a little confusing. And it was a game that just showed up. Somebody said it on Discord. They're like, have you heard of this game? I'm like, no. I went and played it. 3 hours later, I was done. I was like, yeah, that's cool. The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls, probably an underrated game, probably a hidden gem that not a lot of people are familiar with. You should try it. I think I'm going to throw Metal Slug 7 here. I love Metal Slug games. 7 was all right. Again, short game, 1 hour, not long. I don't know what else to say. Metal Slug. If you're familiar with Metal Slug, it's that, but more. Not my favorite one, but I didn't hate it either. So it's right here at the end. The only other one on this list that I have to throw up here, because we're getting into heavy hitters, is Gargoyle's Quest. I have no familiarity with Gargoyle's Quest. I knew about it, name only, and I've never played it. And I played it. You get stuck in one. There was a few places I got stuck where I had to look up a guide as well, how to continue and how to do things. But it was fun. It was a cool platformer. I liked it. It was only 2 hours. It didn't overstay its welcome. It wasn't anything to get crazy, like old or angry about or anything like that. It was good for the time of which it existed. Unlike Assassin's Creed Shadows, which kept going, Gargoyle's Quest is like, hey, you can beat this in a few hours and then go live your life. That's what I liked about it. Okay, we have 9 games left. I I am going to throw Elite Beat Agents here on 9. Elite Beat Agents, the only reason I played this is because everybody said I couldn't. I'm going to be honest with you. I did a video on the AYN Thor showing off some games. One of them was Elite Beat Agents. People in the comments were roasting me at being bad at Elite Beat Agents. So naturally, I was like, well, no, I'm going to go play it then. So I played it and I beat it. And I enjoyed it. It was actually really cool, really fun. Played it on the floor. Again, where everybody says that input lag, you can't do it. I beat it. I've never played that game before in my life. I beat it. It is an adventure game, a rhythm game. So if you like rhythm games, that's exactly what it is. It is very difficult in some spots. Very, very difficult, but it is super fun. So if you like rhythm games and you have a Thor, try out Elite Beat Agents. You're going to need a stylus, a good one, but it'll be very fun. I'm going to throw Adventure Island 1 here. Adventure Island, again, one of my favorite games. I love playing that game. It's on Game Boy. I use it a lot in a lot of my videos. You've probably seen it for platforming and things like that. I don't know. I don't think it would hold up for a lot of people, but if you wanted a retro game that is just platforming and fun and you just go through as Humphrey, I want to remember it's Humphrey. I'm pretty sure it's Humphrey is his name. You go through and you just play a fun platforming game. So Adventure Island, very fun. This is tough now. A lot of these games are my favorites. I'm going to throw Pokemon Conquest up on 7. I've never played Pokemon Conquest before. Because of the Thor, I've been checking out all of the DS games, and this is a DS game, and it is Final Fantasy Tactics with Pokemon. I probably just sold a lot of people on this game already. That's what it is. You are in control of Pokemon that have skills, and it is strategy-based RPG, and you keep recruiting more Pokemon, and you go through levels, and it is Final Fantasy Tactics with Pokemon. I don't know what else I have to say there, but it was awesome. I loved it. Fantastic game. I wish there was another. Okay, Suikoden 2 is going to go here. I don't know if I can talk about Suikoden 2 without talking about Suikoden 1. Suikoden 2, we'll come back. I got to talk about Suikoden 1 before we get to 2. I think I'm going to put Super Smash Brothers next. Do I have to talk about Super Smash Brothers? I love Smash Brothers. That was one of the rare games that I owned for Nintendo 64 for the last 25 years or however long it's been. I love it. Ness, my favorite character. I love Smash Brothers. There's not much else to say about Smash Brothers. It's fantastic. And then I'm gonna throw Suikoden 1 here, but it could be number 1 on my list because it's the only game out of the 3 that are left besides Suikoden that I played for the first time this year. I have never played Suikoden before. This year, I played Suikoden 1 and Suikoden 2 and beat them both. Suikoden 1 is so good. So very good. When you go and play a retro game and everybody talks about how good it is, and then you go and play it and you're like, man, that was not good. Like some of the other games on this list from lower down. This was a game that I played and I instantly was like, I know why people love this and I love it too now. You have 108 characters that you can recruit and use in battles. You have an awesome story. You have awesome levels, all of it. It is an RPG-ass RPG. It is just all of it. Everything that you want in it. Down to the part where you get lost. And I had to use a guide for most of it. But Suikoden 1, for me, is top. Suikoden 2, I know a lot of people like Suikoden 2 more. I didn't like it as much. Suikoden 1, I think, for me, is the better game. But if you like JRPGs, you have to play Suikoden. I'm going to put Final Fantasy VII here. I don't have hours here. There's a specific reason for it. I had a save from my old Retro Achievements account, and I continued it from halfway to beat it. So I don't know how many hours are on it because half of it is on my old Retro Achievements account. And also, I don't have all the achievements for it now because of that. So I don't even have a beaten achievement for Final Fantasy VII. I'm working my way through it again just so I can get it. Do I have to talk about Final Fantasy VII? I love Final Fantasy VII. I love the remake of Final Fantasy VII. I love the characters in Final Fantasy VII. It is, if I beat it when I was a kid, I don't remember. But beating it this year, I can see the story now. I know it all and all of that sort of thing. And so it was just, it is probably one of the best PlayStation 1 games. I get it. It absolutely is. I had it. I owned it. I have a PlayStation 1, but I don't remember beating it as a kid. Now that I have, no wonder that it has stood the test of time, Final Fantasy VII. Last two games I could put in any order, but I'm going to do it based off of the one that I owned. So Pokemon Red is going to be second. Pokemon Blue is going to be first. Pokemon, I don't have to talk about Pokemon, but Pokemon is my favorite series of all time, especially the beginning Pokemon games. Pokemon Blue, Red, Yellow, Silver, Gold, Crystal. Those are my favorite series. Gen 1, Gen 2 is where I live. Those are my favorite games. Pokemon Blue, still to this day, I can just play it. It doesn't matter. I should turn on Pokemon Blue and just play it. And I learned something this year. That's why I put it on here. I learned something this year. I've been playing this game for 30 years. This is why I love retro achievements. It teaches you things. There is a way in Viridian Forest for you to go from one end of Viridian Forest to the other without encountering a single Pokemon. I didn't know that was possible. There is an actual route that you do that you don't encounter a single Pokemon. These are things that you learn from retro achievements. I love that sort of thing. I love being taught something in a game that I love, that I did not know existed, and I thought that I knew everything about. So anyways, Pokemon Blue, top of the list. And so if you're curious about the list, here are the list of games, right down to the last. And that's everything. Now, before we end off for today, I talked about books. I have read 66 books this year, so we're going to do very quickly. 8 books of those were released in 2025, and let's talk about the 2 that I would recommend. Number 1 is called Empire of the Dawn by Jay Kristoff. This is the Empire of the Vampire series. There are 3 books. Anybody could read these. They aren't heavy books. They're very easy, has awesome characters, an awesome story, all of it. Despite the fact that it talks about vampires and all of that, it is very fantasy style. I can't say too many good things about Empire of the Dawn and Empire of the Vampire. It is fantastic. So if you need books to read this year, grab those 3 of them. Another one, No Life Forsaken by Stephen Erickson. As you might have noticed, right behind me, I have 10 books. These are the Malazan series, written by Stephen Erickson, my favorite fantasy series of all time. No Life Forsaken is part of a new spin-off series that Stephen Erickson is doing, past Malazan. And so there's different books depending on different characters. No Life Forsaken, fantastic book. I would suggest that you read all of Malazan first, but these are heavy books. I got them autographed by the author. He's Canadian as well, which is awesome. So yeah, that's my excitement. Now, if you want the best book that I read this year, that is not from 2025, it is Project Hail Mary, which they are actually making a video or a movie on. I would suggest that you don't watch the trailer because it spoils the entire book. But Project Hail Mary is all about our Earth that has a timeline before it's about to wipe out entire humanity and cause a whole bunch of things happen to the world. And so they have to travel light years to figure out the source of this and solve the problem and all that sort of thing. Project Hail Mary is exactly what it says. It is the last Hail Mary of Earth to live. But it is science. It is everything. It is Andy Weir who wrote the Mars thing with, what's his name? Why am I forgetting? Hold on. I need to remember this. Andy Weir. We got this. Andy Weir was the Martian. Sorry, The Martian. He wrote The Martian. So if you liked The Martian, you will like Project Hail Mary. Sorry. That's it. I have a lot more books that I've read, but this is a video gaming video. So I wanted to do very quickly the end of this on just books. And so that's it. That is my year in gaming. That is everything. So just as a reminder, just very quickly, Game of the Year, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Absolutely awesome. Romhack of the Year, Super Mario Mod. Retro Game of the Year, I'm going to give it to Suikoden. I know that the others are ahead of it, but it's going to be Suikoden, my Retro Game of the Year. Those are awesome games. Let me know in the comments what your lists are. I'm very curious. You don't have to do like I did. If you want to just give me your best modern game, retro game, ROM hack, do that. Maybe even book. If you have books, do that too. Let's see if we can get some recommendations for people in the comments so that we can play more games, because that is what we have handhelds for. Play more games. That's going to be it for this one. Don't forget to like and sub to help the channel grow. Come join me on the Discord to talk all about handhelds and retro gaming. Support me through YouTube membership if you like my stuff. And hope you all have a good one.